Think about logging into your email. You enter your username, type your password, and punch in a 6-digit code from your phone. Once you are in, you move fast. You click on your inbox, open an unread message, draft a quick reply, and bounce to your sent folder. But notice what doesn't happen. The system never stops to ask for your password a second time. If every single click or new page load required a full re-entry of your login credentials, the internet would be nearly impossible to navigate. That frictionless browsing experience is an intentional illusion. It hides a continuous, invisible verification system running quietly right behind your screen. Picture the ground floor of a highly secure corporate headquarters. You cannot just walk straight into the elevators. First, you approach the front desk and hand over your government ID for a rigorous one-time background check. Once you clear that initial hurdle, security hands you a temporary visitor badge. With that plastic card clipped to your shirt, you can move through the building without digging your passport out of your bag at every door. The daily efficiency of that building relies on trusting that temporary token. The badge proves your identity, so the guards do not have to continuously re-verify who you are. On the web, the digital equivalent of that visitor badge is called a session. This diagram shows how it works. When you log in, your credential enters the server, instantly generating a unique digital record known as a session ID. Now, loading your inbox doesn't resend your password. It bounces that session ID back and forth. This mechanism powers almost everything you do online, from online banking portals to digital shopping carts and streaming queues. Social media feeds all rely on it. Sessions act as the bridge between strict data security and a usable interface. They keep your data locked down while letting you actually use the website. But an active visitor badge is a liability if you leave it lying around. If a digital session stayed open indefinitely, anyone who sat down at your unattended laptop would have full access to your life. To solve this vulnerability, engineers built in automatic expiration timers. If you stop interacting with a website for a certain period of time, the system assumes you have walked away. The server actively deletes your temporary record. It revokes the badge and forces the interface to demand a fresh username and password before loading any more data. Getting logged out of a dormant tab might be inconvenient, but the temporary nature of sessions is exactly what makes them secure. It provides convenience with a necessary expiration date. This also explains why, if you log into a site on Chrome and then open the exact same site in Firefox, you are asked to log in all over again. Sessions are strictly quarantined to the specific browser where they were created. As this schematic shows, the token cannot cross the boundary into a secondary application. If the remote server is the one issuing the digital visitor badge, we have to look at where your local browser holds that information, so the website can see it on every click. The storage mechanism for these sessions is a piece of data known as a cookie. Sessions create the logic of how a website remembers you, but cookies provide the physical storage for that identity. Next, we'll look at how those files actually live on your machine.